Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Inspired to Transform. My name is Whitney Akinyi. If you're new here, please do hit the subscribe button, like, share, and be sure to leave a comment. So today with me I have a guest. Kindly introduce yourself.
My name is Caleb Sam. I'm a serial entrepreneur, a startup CEO called Financial Hub. We're also an author of a book. We've written a book on the Forex market, and that's basically what I do.
So Caleb, I'd like you to walk us through your journey with Forex. I'd like you to explain to us what Forex is, why you chose Forex as opposed to any other alternative, and basically how your journey has been throughout your, let's say, 23 years of life.
I started in 2017. My cousin introduced it to me from UK. And starting off, we were all alone. I didn't know what I was doing. I thought I'd make a lot of money in 3 months and go to Dubai. That was the plan in 2017. And we blew many accounts, and that's how we started Forex. So going through the journey, I was at the time in TUC. I started mechanical engineering. It's what my mom wanted me to do. I totally did not want to do it. She thought I'd passed in physics, so she thought it's a good thing I should do. And I stayed in TUC for 1.5 semesters, and then I dropped out after being suspended indefinitely. A story for another day. And then I went and did what I wanted to do, what I've always wanted to do, which was film and TV production. So I went to ADMI, Africa Digital Media Institute, a good place to go. I started doing my film there. I stayed there for about 2 years, and then within that span of time is when I got to know about Forex. But I didn't want to drop out again because at the same time I was doing what I love to do. Not to my wanting, but I didn't finish it. I dropped out again, so it was a second dropout. And then I went to do Forex full time. So that's how I started Forex. So it was very tough at the start because my parents didn't know what it was about, and this is mainly my mom. My dad is normally fine with such things. Do what you love. I think that's the same thing he did. So, but my mom is used to the normal African way: go to school, get a job, get good pay, climb the ranks, and do that. And she thought engineering was that way.
So I'd like you to further explain that whole fracas you had with your parents, because I believe at this age in time, most of us millennials do completely different things, because we're in the era of there's digital marketing, there's content creation, there's this, there's that, there's Amazon FBA, there's Forex. But during our parents' era, it was either you're a lawyer, an engineer, a doctor. Like that was the only sure bet you had. So take us through that whole, hullabaloo you had with your mom, because I'm sure there was a lot that went in between that. And to add on to that, what would you advise a young person who's trying to do something they love as opposed to what their parents are telling them to do?
Let's remember all those questions. Okay, so the hullabaloo I had with my mom, or my parents, let's say my mom, was that she did not understand what I was doing because I was spending the whole time on the laptop, the whole time. Personally, I knew I'd make money out of it, but you see, like you're saying, engineering, doctor, pilot, all those things you need. You go to school, you get a certificate, and when people get the certificate, the degree, whatever, the parents throw for you a crazy party, you've graduated. Actually, to me, that's the worst party anyone can ever throw in their life. Just because you graduated from school doesn't mean you're going to get a job. She wanted me to graduate, do what my friends are doing, so, the norm. Yeah. So I sort of have what you call an obstinate character. I have that character to do it to the fullest potential that I can do it. So I had that with Forex. So my mom now wanted me to change. Now she wanted me to do other Forex courses, other online courses. It was something to do with software engineering. Because she said, imagine, this was the reason. Because Caleb is sitting in front of the computer the whole day, then I'll pay for you an online course. That security, she still wants the security for me to get. And I love my mom, and I'm sure she loves me too. She wanted the best for me. She wanted me to be secure. But I wanted to take the risk to do what I love. I rather regret doing what I love than regret doing what I don't love. So we had that sort of fight. So I had to move out of the house. I had to come out because she was saying I'm on the laptop the whole time. I'm not doing anything productive. So I had to move out. I moved out. And ever since I've been doing full-time, I've been doing Forex full-time. And to cover your second question, it's good to remember because my memory, what advice can I give young people is basically just do what you love. Just chase it, no matter how long it takes. Personally, we've worked for a long time in Forex for free. We didn't get paid, no one paid us, we didn't have any mentor. But at the end of the road, we started seeing a lot of a good return, started making good money. And so far, that's where we are right now. We're in our offices here in ICA building. We are running a course with students, about 20 students, and it's quite, I cannot regret making that decision.
Actually, just to add on to this, talk to us about this.
So this book is called A Template for Understanding the Forex Market.
I don't know if you can see it, but
we launched it the other day. We took about 2 years writing this book.
wow.
So we decided to do our own research. We started using what worked for us in the Forex market. Also what doesn't work, we still talk about it. But this book helps you understand the basics of Forex market. It's also not just a Forex market book, so if you don't want to do Forex, it's fine. We talk about money. So if you want to understand, anyone needs to understand about money. Monetary policies, fiscal policies. These are things we're not taught in school. Things like tax. We talk about that here. That's what this book is about. I co-authored it with my partner Kenneth, as well as Tara Slawi. So I have to give a shout out to those boys. We did a tremendous work on that.
And how much does it go for?
2.5.
2,500 Kenya shillings.
$25.
Make that investment in yourself. So now that you've told us your whole journey with Forex, I'd like you to explain to us this stereotype that Forex is a scam, Forex is a quick get rich quick scheme. There's so many stereotypes that are around this thing called Forex. So kindly clarify what Forex is, why is it not a scam, or if it is a scam, why are you still pursuing it?
Many people think that. Personally, as I said earlier on in the video, I wanted to make money, travel to Dubai. So I thought it was also a get rich quick, because if you go online, it's something that people have really spoiled on the media, and that's something we try and avoid. They show this sort of lifestyle that people are living while trading Forex, and they said I did this in 2 months, 1 year, that short amount of time. There's nothing like that. So why Forex is not or gambling or anything, it's if you gamble, it's like throwing a coin up and flipping it. There's a 50% chance that it'll land on heads or tails. So that's what gambling is basically about. It's a 50-50 chance. You do not have control on either side the coin is going to turn. When it comes to Forex market, it's basically the buying and selling of currencies. So what I personally do, I have to do personal research. So when you're dealing with currencies, let's say the euro or the pound, let's take the pound for example, I have to look at the UK economy. How are they doing? If I see the economy is quite strong, their GDP is rising, they have good political leaders and all that, everything is fine, then that means there's going to be a lot of strength on the pound. And if you contrast it to the US, you see US, there's a lot of trade wars, all those shenanigans stuff that do not make sense. It can really affect their currency to go down. So during such time, I buy the pound and sell the dollar. So it's sort of, I know where the market is going to go. So it's not a 50% chance. I've done my research. But people come and confuse it because they come and start trading and they don't know that background. They just want to make money.
Yeah.
And that's why many people come out and say, this is a gamble, I lost all my money. It's basically they did not have knowledge in what they're doing. So totally it's not a gamble, not at all.
With Kenya, like, you knowing what Kenya is, who we are as Kenyan people, do you think there's potential for people to actually embrace the positive side of Forex? Because most of us, I personally have been scammed. Like,
In Forex.
yeah, someone came to me and told me, yeah, I can trade for you, just bring me your money. How did we sign a contract and everything? Then kidogo, we're expecting returns, and do you think we are at the right mindset to accept all these things? Because there's so many new things that are coming up, honestly, so many new things. There's drop shipping, there's Amazon FBA, there's Forex, there's crypto, there's so many new things. Do you really think we're there yet? Like, as Kenyans, do you think we're there yet?
Personally, according to the vision here at Financial Hub, one of the main, because we have 3 pillars, one of the pillars is to create financial literacy here in the country. So if you go to America, everyone knows about the stock market from a young age. That here in Kenya, we don't have that financial literacy. We don't know that we can invest in the stock market and make a lot of money from it. We just think of land. So in terms of mindset, what you've asked, it's something we're also trying to sort it out. People are not there because they're still thinking about that get rich quick scheme.
Yeah.
But we slowly, as we educate people, that's why we have this book, and that's why we're not taking people's money. We basically just teach people how to trade. So slowly we will get there. But personally, I believe people are actually ready for this market, especially this time of Corona. There's been an influx of people who are interested in it. So it's about time that it's really going to start peaking very soon. So a few years from now, if you watch this video, Forex trading will be at a different place. Hopefully with us being the lead on the way.
Amen. Manifest all that. To actually add on to what you talked about, the whole aspect of giving financial literacy to young people, I think that's one of the main reasons why I started this YouTube channel. Because when I'm relating to my friends and people who are of my age group, my peers basically, most people don't have a lot of knowledge about how money works, how to make money, how to keep money, how to multiply your money. It's always a question of, okay, so when are we turning up? What alcohol are we buying next? Where are we going? People are so obsessed over spending so much money. Like, the cash flow doesn't add up. You're spending more than you're making. That's why there's so many people get into so much debt. Ukona fuliza ya sijui how long. Na say you're just 22. You know, there's a times, imagine I've never taken. Like, I feel like I'll only take if it's a pressing matter, like if it really matters and if it's bringing returns. Because there's no need of you to take a loan if you're buying a dress. That doesn't make sense. Because it's not accruing interest, it's not bringing, income, it's not bringing profits, it's just a liability. So I think our education system has really failed us in so many ways. We're just taught how to do things from a perspective of theory and not the practicals. What I wish schools would teach is like how to relate with people. Like if it's a question of entrepreneurship, teach me how to do marketing, like hands-on marketing, not only marketing, okay, international business is this, that, because I've done that. I did business administration. And the biggest regret that I have is the fact that I'm leaving school knowing, actually I'm done with school, like 4 years, and I can't believe it. What? But I'm leaving school with more questions than I came into school with. I've done business, but I can't comfortably say that I know how to manage my inventory. I have to go back and get another course online. I have to go on YouTube and search something, If it's a question of marketing, I have to buy another course on Instagram because I'm seeing this chick, okay, she's doing this, it's working for her, let me buy that course. So what was the point of my parents investing so much money in my education if I'm leaving with less, than I came in with? When I came, I was just like, okay, we're here, okay. But you get in there and people teach you things, but they're not practical things. So I think the biggest issue we have at hand is the fact that our education system has really failed us. We're not taught practical stuff. Most people don't really know what they want to do until they've retired. Because once you've retired, you're just like, okay, so I have time, I have saved up, I have pension, so let me start that hotel. Let me start that boutique. That's how it usually works. People chase their dreams after they're done with their careers.
Yeah. And I think they normally notice it along the way. It's just that they are not bold enough to take that risk.
Yeah, and I think it comes at a time when you have that realization of what you want. It comes at a point when you have so many things holding you back. You become a parent, you have to pay school fees, you have to pay rent, you have to do all these things. You can't actually take that bold step. We are really at an upper hand as young people, and we should really salvage the opportunities that we have and not just limit our mindsets to what our parents know as the norm, but explore opportunities. Like I usually say, when I die, I want to die knowing that I've tried so many things, I've failed at so many things. It's not just about the money, but the fact that I've lived like an amazing life. I want to, there's this time I was telling my mom, I want to be able to fly a plane, like I want to be a pilot, I want to know how to sail a ship. Because I was telling her, one day maybe I may be on the jet, and the pilot anapata seizure of some shit, then I have to take control. Or we are sailing hapo by sailor, a Blakey, I have to take control, So I was telling her, like, I want to do so many things. I want to be a news anchor, okay, not news, but TV anchor, an actress, like so many things. Like the only limit that is present in my life is the limit that I set for myself.
I do not hate education. I hate school. I hate the system. I hate what the system has done to us. I hate how it's brainwashed us, even if you're not aware of it. Whoever's watching this video, if you've gone to school, maybe you're not aware, you've been brainwashed. You're just messed up. Look, out here you need to do a lot of unlearning in order to learn. One of the examples, I was thinking about this weekend. In school, we are punished for getting things wrong and we're rewarded for getting things right. So if you pass, you're rewarded, you get good marks, you're praised by the teacher. If you're wrong, you're kept in a certain corner, you're in a certain league of people, you're the failures. What if we're able to change this around? Sort of like what we do in Forex. If we're able to change this around. So imagine of this. Imagine of a world or a school system that rewards winners, but also rewards losers. But there's a catch. Such that if the person who failed is able to learn what they did wrong and do it again, they're rewarded more than the person who got it the first time. It's what happens here in Forex. Forex, we basically learn from our mistakes, and that's how we move on. So one day you'll get a trade, you'll get it right. You won't learn much from it. But if you lose, you sit back and look at, why did I make this mistake? And you learn from it, and then you do it again, and you do not repeat the same mistake. You get rewarded more money in the Forex market over and over again. So imagine if the school system was like that. If people who lose or fail are told, okay, you will be rewarded, but you have to understand what you did wrong and show that you've understood that now you can do it right. So imagine of such a system. The school system would be totally, totally different. So that's just something I was thinking about over the weekend. School is just messed up.
So when I was in school, I used to fail a lot, like crazy failing. Like, kuna sana nipata D- average. Yani umefanya 8 subjects, meaning kila kitu ni D+ kwenda chini. So for me, I got so accustomed to the fact that maybe that's just who I am, you know, maybe I'm just a failure, maybe I don't just get anything, you know. There's this girl who used to come to me, she's like, you know, just call me Odumbe. Odumbe, you know, you need to read. Your dad is trying so hard. Because my dad used to enroll me in tuition. Actually, I went to tuition ya kila kitu. English, Kiswahili, yani everything. My dad was so dedicated. Do you know I got a B+? And you know, I'm not saying it at because, you know, but for me, that was the biggest moment in my life because it made me realize that, one, anything is possible. I wish that while I was in school, there were other avenues for me to understand what my talents and interests are. Because chemistry si maisha. We're done with chem. When was the last time you did Kiswahili?
Leo.
Oh, watcha? You see,
but I don't remember. It's
chem, bio, it's not applicable to anything that we're doing. So why not teach us and try and cultivate and discover our interests at such an early age, so that by the time we're this 22, it's just a question of, okay, I want to do film. I've already started doing film. I have my own studio. You know, like it's that direct and, you know, you know.
I know, yeah.
Because I feel like we take ourselves through so much back and forth. Because right now you're still discovering, okay, is this what I want? Okay, no. Remember, you had a period when you were in film school, you've left, you're in engineering, you've left. Remember that money being wasted? Not everyone has that luxury of that money. You get. So if they could just, if we could, not they, there's no they, it's we as the leaders of today. Because today is Shafika, you're tomorrow to Kwatnasama is Shafika. Because we are 22, 23. You know, in the next 3 years, we'll be talking about people who are MCAs and whatnot. So, as the leaders of now, we should be able to cultivate this tendency of discovering people's talents at an early age. And I think that's also one of the reasons why I started this channel and I started the company Levitate with my co-founder. Because it's so easy to go through life not knowing shit about yourself. Honestly. And you get to discover shit when you're so old. Yani, you're so old, you have so many responsibilities, yet you could have discovered all these things at a very young age. So, as Levitate and as Financial Hub, now that we have discovered these are the loopholes in our country, in our economic system, and in our people as a whole, what are we going to do to solve these problems? Because I believe at some extent that these issues, these small issues that we face, a question of not following your dreams, lack of financial literacy, they actually affect our leadership. So, if we are able to teach young people these small life skills, yes, you're going to teach them how to make money, but are you going to teach them how to keep the money, how to multiply the money, how to invest the money? You know, what skills do they need to actually do this thing called Forex? Yes, you need risk management skills. What else do I need? Do I need to change my whole mindset? You know, I think those are the factors that we should really think about as young entrepreneurs and young people who are looking to revolutionize the whole narrative. Like, those are the things we should really look at. So, I'd like to pose a question to you as we close. How many people do you expect to target with this whole transformation of the whole financial narrative in Nairobi?
Nairobi.
Yes, you talked about Nairobi being the hub, the financial hub of Africa. So let's start with Nairobi.
Well, I'll be honest. I do not have a fixed number because sometimes I believe you can grow something to levels that you didn't believe you can get to such numbers. So I do not want to limit myself. So I won't give you a number, but I just hope we are strategically working to hit a very high number. Especially, we're thinking globally, so not really focused in Kenya. And that's why many Americans make a lot of money. Like, you're seeing what is happening with Elon Musk. He's sold, in the past few weeks, he's now worth 70 billion. He's hit Warren Buffett off the list. Now Warren Buffett is around number 10 from number 3. So you can see such people. Elon Musk was born in South Africa. He decided to go to America because, you know, that's where he can achieve his dreams. So basically, I'm also thinking the same, not relocating, but targeting the whole world. So
you're looking globally, not
so
locally.
Exactly. So I can't give you a fixed number because I might give myself that psychological goal such that if I reach it, I become complacent. And I don't want that. So that's my answer to you.
That's a smart answer. That's a smart way to say Jaeka target. But kudos to that. And thank you guys so much for tuning in into this amazing interview. I hope that you have learned so much. And if you'd like to contact Financial Hub, I'll leave the link in the description below. So thank you guys once again, and be sure to stay safe and always choose productivity. Bye.
Make sure to visit us. We're at ICA building, 17th floor, Financial Hub. Just ask for us or ask for Kijana Manuele.
Or just ask me. Yeah, I'll show you guys the way. Okay?
Be sure to find us.
Bye.